Hey, how's it going, everybody? Dan here for another episode of Torchlight 2. Whenever we left off, we was in the middle of this dungeon, and I just wanted to end the video. I was getting, close on time. I don't like to go over 25 minutes, but yeah, ended the video so that I could not have to go way over time. And then also, I just didn't want to get stuck into like a boss battle or something like that, because then I would go even more over time. And not only that, but I was getting tired and did not have much more to say. It looks like I'm about to have to run to town real quick because I am almost out of... Well, I am out of health potions now. Come on. Anyways, today, something that's been on my mind a little bit has been retail and just managers and leadership and other things like that. And I guess I should preface this with I like being in control of my own actions, if that makes sense. In retail, you have to be someone that you're not a lot of the times, and I'm here to say that it's not worth it most of the time. It can be a great rewarding job, and but for the most part, it's just not. So if I could advise anybody, and if you have a choice, never go into retail. However, what I'm here to talk about is that managing styles and a lot of other things than that. And I promise I'll try not to make this boring. I want to make it more of a rant on just something that's been on my mind. So pretty much right now, anyways, like I said, I was going to preface it with how I like to be in control. Well, I don't mean like be in control in a way where, I'm dominating or something like that, but I like to be able, like, if the leadership is going in the wrong direction and I personally do not feel that it is going in the right way, I love to be in a position to where I can say, no, I will not do this, I will not do that, and that it needs to be done this way, or that we need to work on this, or we need to work on that. However, where I'm at in life, I don't have that opportunity. Pretty much, I have to be the one who just gets over it. And I hate that. It's not me. And pretty much, a lot of the times, I feel like people who are in higher positions are not making the right decisions when it comes to like corporate based and not like high up in corporate. I mean like the lower end corporate, like your district managers and things like that. And I think it all comes from misunderstanding, as it comes from possibly my point of view, which is possibly I misunderstand their jobs, or I misunderstand what stress they have. But what I do know is that seeing things on a store level is the most important part to knowing what to do, and it's like when you get up in those higher positions, you kind of become clueless, just as you become clueless as an adult to what a child goes through a lot, because you're not a child anymore. So you kind of lose that sense of truthfully knowing what is going on. I mean, a lot of times it's like, well, the numbers say this, and the numbers don't lie, but you know what? The numbers are only half the story when it comes to many things, especially sales and what's going on with your associates or your workers at a retail level. For instance, right now we are at a huge we're at a disadvantage with numbers right now. We need people to be working for us. I mean, people are all like, I need a job. Well, we can't get... people also don't want to work very hard either. Oh my god, I almost died from that. Yes, I see that. That's why I'm running away. And, anyways, people, everybody wants a job, but whenever they get the job, they're not willing to work hard, and it's annoying. And see, if I was a manager, I wouldn't put up with it. Right now, people who are on their phones all the time, people who are not being productive and just refusing to help, or think that a certain time is quit time, I don't stand for that. And sadly, it feels like that a lot of places do not do anything about it, or they're not effective in their methods of dealing with it, and that bothers me. It even affects my workplace, and it just places more work on other people who are wanting to be effective. And my first instinct is to instantly get rid of those people, but for some reason it's not with others. I am not one to sit around and give someone multiple chances to do a job that has been clearly explained to them. Now, that's one thing. A lot of managers are not very specific, and it's like they're too, well, I know how to do it. You kind of forget that. I mean, they try to understand that people have to learn it, but they don't understand that people have different learning times, or that other people like to be showed a different way, and you have to learn to adapt to that. If you want to be a good manager or a good leader in anything, you need to know that everybody below you is not going to learn in the same way that you did, and that you need to learn, if you want to truly be successful at being the leader of whatever you are being a leader of, you need to learn to adapt to the people under you. And that's one of the most important things about being a leader, is adapting to those that are under you and understanding them and being fair with them. In the retail and corporate world, you don't get that now, and a lot of businesses wonder why they fail. I mean, because when sales aren't coming in, I mean, yeah, that's going to be the main reason why people fail, is sales, obviously. But it's like, what could help that? How about employees that know what they're doing, so that whenever a customer comes in and they have a problem, it gets solved, or people have the proper training to give the best customer experience. And I just realized those guys are way up there, and I'm not. And I mean, right now, anyways, I was mentioning how we have a job shortage at where I work at the moment, and a lot of people want jobs. However, whenever you don't put an application up, because everything is done online with this place, and you don't put an application on it for people to fill out, you're not going to be covering that position, because nobody can apply for it. You can't come in and apply because we don't offer paper applications. We have no way of giving a paper application, because everything you have to do is online, especially the test assessment, and it has to be submitted before you can even be considered to be hired. So we're making those we're making our workers we're making our workers suffer because of the manager's lack of initiative to get a form online, a form that is already made, that has been planned for a long time. And I kind of want to go up there and destroy those people. So oh yeah, I definitely want to go up there. I gotta get that experience. Anyways, and also leveled, so I'm gonna go ahead and get me a skill, I guess, coup de grace. And over here, I think we'll go up to 211, and I think I'm gonna start putting some into dexterity soon. Might as well start now. Anyways, okay, where was I going? Over here. Anyways, I mean, yeah. So how can you? What's the point of making others suffer? Also, in retail, there's a lot of different people have different selling or different ways of interacting with people, but whenever you try to limit that person's interactions and limit what they can say, it's kind of dehumanizing in a way. One thing that bothers me about stores everywhere, and retail everywhere, is well, first, coming from the customer side, that every customer thinks they're entitled to something and that they are the exception. There are no exceptions in real life for anybody. Everybody's gonna die. There's no exceptions for that. So, I mean, in a less serious manner, there goes my voice. In a less serious manner, there's no exceptions for you as a customer. You're not important. You're really not. I mean, yeah, you may be buying stuff, and that is important, but if you're going to be difficult and really just cause problems and possibly even cost money in the first place, then you're being difficult, and you're not worth it. And that happens all the time. That happens way too often. And I'm not really sure why. I don't get it, because I don't go into a place, expecting anything. I don't go in. I mean, if a fast food worker gets my order wrong, you know what I do? I go up to the counter and say, "I'm sorry, I ordered this another way, and if you would please just make it this way," and I'll be as polite as I can. I don't place any blame on them. I try to even place a little blame on myself. I say maybe I could talk a little clearer sometimes, or anyways, I try to be fair about it. I don't want to get on their nerves, and I just want to get my sandwich, and I want to go back to my table and sit down, and just there's no point in causing stress over it. No point at all. But people love to feel like they are proving a point, and that they are smarter than them, or they are so awesome in this world. because they pointed out something that that a worker did wrong. I mean, I remember when I worked at Arby's when I was 15. There was a guy. Luckily, I was not around. I was not around at the time that this happened. I was around. I just wasn't at the counter the time this happened. A guy, he had this huge order. I mean, it was like three of our largest bags full of an order. The smallest thing on his order was wrong. It was like a junior burger, like a little junior roast beef burger. So it was small, just one little mistake, and he comes in and dumps all 3 bags on the counter. And honestly, if I was the leader of this world, the guy would have had his hands chopped off. And I guess I should say that I would be somewhat of a brutal leader, because ignorance and just straight up stupidity from customers would be on a third offense would be punishable. Oh my god, I can't get this word out. Punishable by death in my dream world. I was a teenager once, obviously, and I kind of went on that for a while. I mean, I remember I got stopped at Walmart because I brought in something, I don't know, and I got stopped, and the woman made me angry. It was because of her tone at the time, but now looking back on it, it's so embarrassing. I still see this woman to this day, and it has been over like 5 years now, and I feel, well, it's not been over 5 years. It's been about 4 years. Close enough, right? Anyways, and I'm still embarrassed because I'm like, why did I lose my temper on her? There's no point in it. And that's just part of growing up, obviously. But whenever you get grown men in there, grown women, who are, like, trying to terrorize workers because they're the customer and they think they're right. No, the customer is not always right. I don't know why we live in a world where we're taught that. Where retail corporations, or whatever, retail establishments and food establishments, everybody puts up with it, because I mean, people need to like realize that policies are policies, and that's another big thing. Whenever, as a worker, we are given a set of policies that we are to reiterate to the customers who are that do not know the policies or do not get them, or like for instance, if you buy an electronic item, it has a 15% restocking fee that causes us from being a rental service, and people buying something for and keeping it for 2 weeks and bringing it back and getting all their money back, and then us not being able to sell it because it's been opened and used. And if we do sell it, it has to be at a discount because then nobody's going to take it, and we lose money, especially on laptops we hardly even gain money. Anyways, people think that they're the exception and that they can break that rule, and well, it bothers me because I don't see why anybody thinks they're entitled to be breaking the rules. I mean, people who break the rules are, I mean, yeah, there's obviously times, I mean, I'm not going to go into like speed limit and other dumb things like that. I'm talking about breaking the rules that are set clearly usually on the back of receipts, that are told to you by the employees at the establishment, whatever. And it bothers me when people think that they can get away with just getting mad. And the thing is, they can get away with it. They can get mad, and then they get their way. And that's because managers are they're just, I don't know, they just don't care. I mean, well, they do care, but they think that it's I don't know, they think that it's right to let the customer stomp all over the establishment. And you want to talk about losing money? I mean, they're like, well, we'll lose a customer. No, you probably will not have that customer that often, anyways, and you won't. I mean, you'll probably lose money because you're letting them get their way, especially when it comes to certain things like returns and laptops and other things like that. So, I mean, if you're worried about money, then why are you letting people get away with policies? And it kills me because we will tell them no, that this is the policy. They'll get angry. We'll get the manager, and the manager won't even put up a fight. And what do you know? They get their way, and all it does is make our policies worthless. Not worth. They're just policies that are there to, I don't know, sit around and actually a lot of the policies drive off customers. Like for instance, the 15% restocking fee. That's driven off so many customers. But I mean, there's got to, I understand why the policy's there, but I mean, and I like it. I want it to stay there, but you can't just break the policy. I don't know. And what the crap is this lever not pullable? There we go. God, come on. What is this? Oh my god. But managers, getting to one of my final points of this rant is that I feel like I would make a great manager. I don't want to manage a place, no. I mean, I wouldn't want to deal with it because I'm not the person who can manage. If I'm going to manage a place, it has to be my own place. For instance, where I work at now, I couldn't manage it just because, I mean, supposedly these smart corporate people who have high-paying jobs, you know, they know what they're doing because they're in successful positions, who really don't know anything that they're doing. They're doing a terrible job. They're scaring off some of their best workers, the people who are making the money, and they're getting replaced. Whoa, how did I teleport up here? Interesting. Anyways, those workers that are getting replaced, that are good and making money, some of the best sellers or some of the best employees we're talking to customers are leaving, and you're getting people who want to stand around on phones and not work and not contribute to the overall success of the team for the day. And I don't get that. I don't understand. I mean, for instance, we just lost the guy who has been running the store for 13 years. The #1 store in the district. He's been running for 13 years. And he left because he was told by the new district manager that he is not... this isn't what he... You know, I'm not doing this word for word because obviously I don't know word for word. But in short, it's like he was told he's not doing good enough and he's going to lose his job. I mean, you can't do... I mean, what does the new guy... I mean, well, he's not really new now. He's been the district manager for over a year, or about a year. So what qualifies some idiotic corporate guy to tell somebody who's been running his store for 13 years that he's not doing a good job, even though it's the #1 store in the district? And that kind of stupidity is what kills me. I don't understand it. I never will understand it. And I don't understand how they are leaders. But back to the point where that's why I could not lead a store, because if I'm told by some higher up that I'm doing that I'm in the wrong whenever I'm clearly right, I don't have the patience or the temperament or whatever it's called. I will lose my temper pretty much, and I don't care to just flat out say that I will not do what you want me to do, like to a higher up. You know, I mean, if I'm supposed to sell, I don't care to say I'm not a good seller, and I'm not gonna lie to a customer like you want me to, and I'm not going to push it on them, and I'm not gonna keep pushing if I do make the sell, because it's just not right, and it's dumb. And even on the internet, people have, I mean, obviously it's the internet, but anyways, people in forums and stuff have, I've actually had a discussion about this before, and they're like, well, if you was my employee, I'd sit you down and tell you that it's not cheating people and not ripping people off. It's giving them everything that they need to have a successful user experience. And I'm thinking, no, you don't need these services. You don't need any of it. It can be done. Instead of paying $40 for someone to hook it up and let a remote technician do it, it can be done in your home in 10 minutes. I mean, all it takes, and if you don't know how to do it, you can look it up on Google. If it's really important and it's going to affect your usage, you can look it up. But most of these things, that's the thing, most of these services will not affect your experience at all. I mean, especially like, well, we offer a $60 service that adds an antivirus, which you can get for free easily online, and it just kind of does it changes a couple of settings. You know what, if you don't spend that $60, you're going to be just fine, and you can go find you a free antivirus. I prefer AVG, and you're going to save $60 instead of getting ripped off by some person in retail that's telling you that you need this. And I can't explain how much that bothers me. Not only that, but we sell these things called warranties, and they're expensive. For a $400, $500 laptop, the warranty is $150 for 3 years. And pretty much, if anything happens to your laptop besides theft and loss, you can send the laptop in and they'll fix it. Now, well, once a laptop's broken, it's gonna keep having problems. And now, yes, that personally is worth it, because a lot of local technicians, they will rip you off. They charge ridiculous amounts. But I mean, it's like whenever. But here's the bad point: whenever they don't buy it, you lie to them and tell them, "Oh, we don't have the item." Yes, I have been forced to do that. I have been forced to go in the back, act like I've looked, and said, "We don't have it. I'm sorry." And that is something I personally do not believe in. And yes, I have stopped doing that. I don't do that after I was like, I don't feel right doing this, and I'm not going to do this. Actually, other stores were doing it, and they complained to not the district manager, but even higher up in corporate. And higher up in corporate, they seem to have their stuff together, and they came out and said that's got to stop. Because I mean, the place I work for, it has been voted the most ethical company to work for, but yes, the most ethical company to work for, but it's also been rated the 5th worst company to work for. I don't know how those two mix together. Bad management decisions are all over the place, and I think it's because we're letting people manage who don't really care, or who, and not really to say anything about the other generation, but the people who are in their 30s and 40s that are managing, they just don't care anymore. They've been doing it so long, and they've been crushed by these corporate people who are even a little bit older most of the time. Some of them are younger now, but a lot of them that are older, and they all have different views and how things should work. And it's not working anymore. That people are not changing with the times. It's just not going. Anyways, that's been this rant for the day. This is going to be the only video I do whenever we get back. We're going to fight this. Maybe I will not be doing co-op. I'm going to be making an announcement today. Actually, I may make that before or after. I don't really know when that video is going up. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope my ranting didn't scare you away, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I said something that you can learn from. I don't know. Anyways, I appreciate everything, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.